Okay, hello. Yesterday, you guys solved equations where there are variables on both sides of the equal sign. Today, we'll be doing the same thing, but with decimals and fractions. All right, so for part A, so you're solving equations involving decimals. Um, all right, so look at example 1. Okay, first let's find like terms. So 1.4x and 2.35x are like terms. They're on the same side of the equation, so I need to combine them. All right, so we need to add them up. Um, okay, I could make you not use a calculator, but I think I'm going to let you use it on these. So we'll pull out the calculator. I need to add 1.4, okay, and 2.35. All right, looks like that equals 3.75. Okay, so I get 3.75x. All right. Um, there's still a minus 1.8 over here. All right, and that's going to equal 0.21. All right. My next step, I need to get rid of this constant term, so add 1.8 to both sides. All right. So with the calculations, that'd be nice if you could follow with your calculators. I'd be left with 3.75x equals okay, now add these. I could probably add up without let's see, carry it'd be 2.01. Okay, my next step is to get x by itself. So this is multiplication, so I need to divide to undo. So divide by 3.75. Okay, and because the denominator is smaller than the numerator, our answer is going to be a decimal smaller than 0. Okay, but that's okay. Um, all right, so I'm going to have x equals 2.01 divided by 3.75 equals, so 0.536. Okay, so that is my answer, 0.536. All right, so that's my answer for number 1. All right, let's try number 2. All right, so let's look. Do I have like terms? Sure looks like I do. All right, and they're on the same side of the equation, so I'm going to add them together. Some of you guys that are pretty with it, you know that's actually the same as subtraction. You could do 6.7 minus 1.7. Okay, I'm just going to type it in as I see it. So with this calculator, I need to type in 1.7 first, and then hit this plus minus button to make it negative. All right, and then I'm adding 6.7. Okay, looks like that equals 5. Okay, so 5k is going to equal 13.1. Divide both sides by 5. So k is going to equal, let's type it in. So 13.1, we're dividing by 5. Okay, that equals 2.62. All right. It would be a good idea to check our answers. If you wanted to do that, you would put in 2.62. Okay, you'd put it in for k. So both spots, you'd work the problem out and make sure that both sides of the equation end up with 13.1. Okay, I checked these earlier and they do work. Okay. All right, so for B, next thing I'm going to do is solve equations involving fractions. All right, and there is a, there's the hard way to do it and the easy way to do it. Let's start with the hard way. Okay, I want to get all the x's on the same side. All right, so to do that, I would have to add 1/6 x to both sides. Okay, so I would be left with, let's see, I got to figure out what 3, I'm going to do this on the side. So 3/10 plus 1/6. I need to find what that is. Okay, don't have common denominators. So I believe 30 is my common denominator. Okay, I need to multiply that by 3 and this by 5. So it would be 9/30ths plus 5/30ths, which would be 14/30ths. Okay, so I figured out what 3/10 plus 1/6 is. Okay, that's going to give me 14/30ths. All right, they're adding x's, so x comes with, and that's going to equal 7/10. All right. To get rid of the 30 on the bottom, we need to multiply both sides by. Okay, I need to multiply both sides by. Okay, if I multiply by 10, there's still going to be a 3 in the denominator over here. So let's multiply by 30. Okay, so what happens here is these cross off. I'm left with 14x equals, okay, multiply fractions. That would end up being, okay, it'd be 210 over 10, which is, I can simplify that. If I divide it 3, okay, it's going to end up being 21. Okay, so did that work? Ended up with 14x equals 21. Now I divide by 14. And then I have x equals 21 divided by 14. I could reduce that. Let's divide both by 7. Sorry, by 3. I'd have 7. Nope, sorry. Divide by 7, it'd be 3 over 2. So 3/2. All right, and that would be the answer. Okay. The other way I was talking about, okay, the quicker way, you could have multiplied everything by 30 right away. Okay, and that would have been slightly simpler. For example 4, all right, if there are questions on example 3, just hit pause and then work them out. Okay, and then you can come on back. All right, example 4. Okay, let's do the quick way right away here. Okay, with your denominators, let's multiply by the least, or the smallest number that gets rid of both of these. So what I want to do, I want to multiply by 10. Okay, we're going to multiply everything by 10. So 10 times 4/5 x, 10 times 3, and 10 times -7/10. All right. Okay, and the reason why I want to multiply everything by 10 is so there's no fractions anymore. There's nothing in the denominator. Okay, so if I do some easy reducing here, I can divide both of these by 5. Okay, so that would be 2 times 4, which is 8. So 8x plus 10 times 3 is 30. And these 10s divide out, they cancel, so it's going to equal -7. All right, once I'm here, we're going to subtract 30. So 8x is going to equal negative, actually, yeah, it will be negative. -7 minus 30 is -37. Okay, so my answer is going to be, divide both sides by 8. It would be -37/8. All right, and if I reduce that, okay, 8 goes into 37 4 times, so -4. And then there is 5 left, so -4 and 5/8. All right, let's make that a little neater. So x equals -4 and 5/8. Okay. What you're going to do next is you're going to try 5, 6, and 7 with a partner. You need to complete all of these problems, okay, before the end of the day. Okay, otherwise you won't get any participation points. So if I don't see any answers for 5, 6, or 7, sorry, but there's no points for this. Okay, so good luck, and then once you finish, start your assignment.